When Lexus debuted over 3 decades ago in the September of 1989, the brand launched with one of the most incredible vehicles ever built, the LS 400. The LS had been designed and tested for almost the entire decade of the 1980s to build the most perfect luxury car imaginable, and they succeeded. The LS wasn't alone in the luxury brand's debut, however. It was accompanied by a smaller and less regal sedan, the Lexus ES 250. Fast forward 30 years and the ES has swapped roles with the venerable LS in terms of popularity and sales. In today's video, part 1, we're going to talk largely about the super interesting and long history of the best-selling Lexus sedan, the ES. And then in part 2, we're going to talk about where the car currently stands in the current market, as well as what it needs to be the perfect sedan in the Lexus lineup. Welcome back to the channel, Luxurious Fleet. My name is Kirk, and this channel is dedicated to covering Toyota and Lexus vehicles. So subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss part 2 of the Lexus ES past, present, and future video. The first of 7 generations of ES debuted with the LS 400 September of 1989. And Lexus had spent billions of dollars and over 8 years developing the perfect car, the LS 400. And Lexus didn't have any plans on launching the stablemate for the LS during the introduction of the luxury brand here in America. Dealers, however, demanded a second option at launch, and they got it. So Toyota they were kind of forced to scramble in the situation. So the ES 250 debuted very much as like a rebadged Toyota Camry. With much more polished interior, of course. And in 1990, the ES was front-wheel drive. All future models ever since then have been front-wheel drive as well. The model sported a 2.5-liter V6 with a standard 5-speed manual and an optional 4-speed auto. Yes, Lexus debuted the brand with a standard transmission. The small V6 produced about 156 horsepower, and 0 to 60 time was 9.2 seconds for the manual and a modest 17-second quarter mile. Base price for the lesser Lexus model was $21,050. Man, I wish we could go back to those prices. $400 Lexus payment? Okay. The first gen ES had the shortest run for any of the ES models and was replaced by the ES 300 in 1991 as a 92 model year. If you like the ES and you're liking the idea of this series, go ahead and hit the like button, and that will let me know I need to make more of these past, present, and future videos for you guys, the Luxurious Fleet. The ES 300 looked and still looks awesome in my opinion. Much like today's ES, the second gen ES looked like a shrunken down LS. Departing from the Camry, the ES 300 shared much with the new Toyota Wyndham. Quietness and ride quality massively improved with this second generation, and it's become a large part of the ES's identity over the years. This model saw boosted sales and was now fighting on an even playing field with the German counterparts. It was a best-selling model in the lineup, surpassing the LS 400. The manual 5-speed carried over, however, the price jumped $6,400 from the previous ES 250. Displacement grew a half liter, and the motor now pumped out 185 horsepower, hence, the ES 300 instead of ES 250. Anyways, 0 to 60 time improved to 7.9 seconds, a quarter mile to 16.2 seconds. The ES 300 can now be had with a 6-disc CD changer, a sunroof, and heated front seats. And just like the original LS, the ES didn't come with standard leather seats. That option would cost you $1,300. Man, are we spoiled today with the standard Nulux or semi-aniline leather on all Lexus vehicles. The ES received a facelift for the 94 model year and was succeeded by the third gen ES 300 for the 97 model year. The third generation ES 300 had sharper lines, nicer interiors, more space, more power, now sporting 200 horsepower from the 3-liter V6 and 0 to 60 times in 7.7 seconds. In its first year, it shattered the sales record with 58,000 plus units. It is still hard for me to tell the difference between the second generation and the third generation ES just by looking at them. And that's not a bad thing because they both look really, really good. For model year 1998, the model received safety features such as additional airbags, force limiting seatbelt pretensioners, but most people were excited for the extra 10 horsepower thanks to the addition of variable valve timing with intelligence, or VVTi. With a minor facelift for the 2000 model year, the third gen met its end for the 2001 model year. The fourth generation ES debuted for the 02 model year. This is easily my least favorite ES in terms of styling. Gone were those sharp, sporty looks of the second and third gen. Now we had this rounded boat with bug-eyed headlights. A 5-speed auto was now available, as well as some welcome amenities like rear sunshades, rain-sensing wipers, and Mark Levinson sound. ES again smashed all previous sales records with an astounding 71,000 plus units sold for the 2002 model year. However, the sedan's leader as the top-selling Lexus was no more, with the popularity of the newly introduced RX. The 2004 model year came with a larger 3.3 liter V6, upping power to 218 horsepower, and changed the ES from the 300 to the 330 as a result of the displacement change. There was a Sport Design Special Edition in 2004 with adaptive variable suspension, 17-inch wheels, Mark Levinson sound system, and more. This in some ways foreshadowed the introduction of the 2019 ES 350 F Sport models that we currently have today. The 2005 model year saw a refresh with new bumpers, grills, and lights. But that summed up my least favorite generation of ES. And then the fifth generation debuted for the 2007 model year. This design to me feels like a true and direct successor to the third gen ES with its more angular and sharper looks. The ES was renamed the ES 350 as motor displacement increased again to 3.5 liter and power shot up from 218 horsepower to 272. Man, that had to feel so good for previous owners getting into this new fifth generation. To put that massive power leap into perspective, the 07 ES had 20% more power in just one model year jump. That's nuts. Compare the 2007 ES at 270 horsepower to the 2020 ES at 302 horsepower results in just a 10% increase in 13 years. We'll talk more about the stagnation of this later, maybe in the second video. Transmission added another cog for a 6-speed auto and scooted the luxury sedan in just 6.2 seconds to 60 miles an hour. And 17 years after the debut of the original LS, the 07 ES was claimed to be faster, quieter, more fuel efficient than the legendary LS 400. Modern features such as auxiliary audio input, dual climate control, parking assist, backup camera debuted with this car. The ultra luxury package now was a thing and could be had with an available panoramic moonroof. I've only seen one of these in this generation with the panoramic sunroof, and it was painted white and it looked super sick. It did not look like a 2007, it looked like a 2016. Base price had grown to $33,000 plus and in 2010 the ES received a facelift resembling the newly announced Lexus HS 250H at the time. And if you haven't seen my video on the forgotten Lexus HS 250H, click the bubble around my face and you should definitely give it a watch. A lot of people don't know it even existed. The 6th generation ES debuted in 2012 as a 2013 model. This version of the ES has always felt like the biggest and heaviest while driving the car. And to me, the looks are my second least favorite, as it returned to a more rounded look. Almost like a true successor to the 4th gen, which I already talked about I'm not so keen about. The new car shifted more towards an Avalon in similarity compared to its Camry-based predecessors. Carried over was the same 3.5 liter V6 and 6-speed auto. However, Lexus entered a new era as the 6th generation also came with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid. The ES 300H was capable of over 40 miles per gallon. The looks were modified with a refresh for the 2016 model year, and Lexus also introduced modern safety features such as lane keep assist, lane departure alert, radar cruise control, pedestrian detection. And with the 2016 model year came a huge shift in production from the Miata plant in Japan to the Toyota plant in Kentucky for the ES 350. All hybrids were still produced in Japan until 2018, and then hybrid production also shifted stateside with the introduction of the 7th generation ES. And luxurious fleet, that is where I'll leave off on part 1 of the Lexus ES past, present, and future video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where we will dive very deep into the current status of the ES and speculate on where Lexus is bringing their top-selling sedan. Out of the generations I've spoke about so far, which one is your favorite? I would have to say, well, the second and third gen just looks so cool, and obviously the fifth generation looks really sharp as well. But I'll see you guys in the comments on that one, and thanks for watching. Peace out.